We're back talking about Hasan Piker once again. This time, we're not talking about how he was glazing China or anything, although it is somewhat related to his Chinese propaganda tour. You see, as part of his tour, Hasan went to, I believe, Hong Kong, and went to a horse race. That's right, and he bet on the horse race. I know, scandalous. His community was pretty upset by this. We have here a screenshot of a now deleted Reddit thread that was posted on Hasan's Reddit, where his fans were freaking out at him for attending a horse race. One comment said, "I've been a fan of Hasan for a few years now, and I just wanted to use this moment to share my opinion and experience on this topic. Horse racing is animal abuse. 100%, it kills, maims, and displaces countless horses every year, on and off the racetrack. Breed a ton of horses, whip them into shape with cardio, race them, breed the winners, and get rid of the slow ones. Lather, rinse, repeat. That's how all animal racing works. It's a breeding competition and it rewards people with more money and space. There is a pay-to-win element in most animal sports, but in racing especially. Horses are very expensive to keep, but racing rewards breeding and training lots of horses to find the winners. The racing career of a racehorse is pretty short, usually 2 to 4 years, but horses live for decades. I used to work at the winning level in dog sled racing, on top of having almost a decade of animal care and training experience. This experience made it very clear to me that animal racing is abusive and there is no way to do it humanely. I could yap about this for hours and hours, but my experience in dog sled racing was so extreme that I've made it my life's mission to tell as many people as possible about how horrific animal racing is. Horse racing is a much larger industry with much more money involved than dog sled racing. By all accounts, horse racing is worse than dog sled racing. There is a YouTube channel that is nothing but videos of racehorses not surviving races, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. And to try and describe my brainworm, I got into politics when I was working in dog sled racing. The musher I worked for was politically active and a Democrat, but he was so hard on his dogs. I wonder if he used a shock collar on them. Would literally whip them to make them run faster and give them a hint of adrenaline at the end of a 16-mile run. And not just that, but he was pretty hard on his workers in his restaurant, and he was in general a pretty cutthroat businessman. This dude really made me question what it means to be a Democrat. This comment continues, it goes on for a very long time, basically restating the same things, but the important one to note is this one here. But Hasan will say adopt, don't shop when it comes to dogs. Now obviously Hasan doesn't say that. Hasan's dog is a designer dog and one of the most expensive breeds of designer dogs in the world. You know, the dog that he's allegedly using a shock collar on. But this really long preachy comment ends here. I'm really disappointed in Hasan for going to a horse race. He's just choosing to ignore the mountains of evidence and decades of stories. He even read my chat where I asked him not to go and told him it's cruel. That's so freaking lame. And it's not like they don't have horse racing in California. He could have done that stupid stuff back home if he loves it so much. So yeah, this fan kind of parasocially criticized Hasan for going to the horse race, saying that Hasan even read their comment and ignored them. Not gonna lie, I don't like being on Hasan's side, but if you write out a post like this over somebody going to a horse race, you're probably crazy. Anyway, unfortunately, Hasan's audience is full of crazy people because this comment was not the only one. Ever since this was posted, and now that the thread's been removed, he's been getting comments on his stream talking about how bad it is for him to go to horse racing. Here's a video trying to explain to his chat that going to a horse race is not that bad and also like fairly normal. So let's watch this right after you hit that like button.
Animal racing is incredibly cruel. I used to work in a dog racing at the winning level. Animal racing is bad. I don't know if you know this, but I am a horseback rider. I did professional show jumping. Like I had a horse. I can't speak for dog racing. I'm not entirely familiar with it, but Umama Sume's biggest hater, yeah.
So yeah, Hasan downplays it, and to be fair, I think he's right to downplay it. His audience is crazy, but you'll note he mentions that he used to have a horse, and that's because I'm going to take this moment to remind you that Hasan grew up in a rich family that had him born on American soil so that he could get citizenship. Then they went back to Turkey and raised him in a life of luxury. Basically, he was an aristocrat. He's from essentially an aristocrat family, an incredibly rich Turkish family. He then came to the United States where he worked for his uncle's news show, making pickup artist videos for a while. Nobody ever talks about those. And now he pretends that he had a horrible, poor life and he's a socialist. So yeah, Hasan really showing the socialism roots here, but he is molding about this, right? Like everything, Hasan can't handle this kind of criticism. He's cultivated this audience of genuinely insane people over the course of so many years, just promoting socialism and communism and all these other crazy ideologies. Of course, he's gonna get crazy fans, and his fans won't stop bringing this up. So if we go here, we can see another response that Hasan made to a different comment from another person calling him out for the horse racing. Let's take a look.
I won!
Yo! Fuck.
Wait, how much did you win?
I put 1,000 down. Wait, I think you had really crazy odds.
Yeah.
I think you just won like 30 grand.
Yeah, Mo Boo Boo, baby. Mo Boo Boo. Why are you?
Just want to jump in and point out the absurdity of a quote unquote socialist streamer watching a clip of him winning like 29,000 Hong Kong dollars or whatever it is at a horse race. Not exactly the biggest socialist moment he's ever had.
Why are you supporting corrupt horse racing? Because I hate animals. And I not only do I love gambling, I also love tormenting animals in general. Like, I'm a fan of specifically, I thought you were here for the whole Shockgate or whatever, Shocktober 7. This is my new meta. I am in favor of the widespread torture of animals. I hope that was clear to you. They're gonna clip you. I don't give a shit, dude.
He obviously doesn't believe what he's saying. He's just malding about it. And the only way he knows how to deal with these kind of things is to, instead of facing the criticism and telling his audience to grow up, he has to project and defend himself in a way that won't upset his crazy audience. So he just goes, oh yeah, self-deprecating humor. Let's just pretend that I hate animals. Let's mention that I shocked my dog. So obviously this is bothering him, because if he's connecting it to the dog shocking allegations, which bothered him immensely to the point where you no longer see his dog in the corner because he moved the dog out of the room when he streams now. But that's not the only time. He's getting really mad because this stuff's getting brought up every single day and he doesn't know how to handle it. So let's take a look at this clip of him trying to handle another chatter calling him out.
Does your friend know you abuse animals like horses and dogs? Yes, we do it together. That's why he's here. So we can abuse more animals together. We just had some chicken too. Specifically chicken that was abused.
Once again, you have Hasan responding to these criticisms with self-deprecating humor, trying to be an absurdist and be like, oh yeah, we love doing this. In fact, we do it together. That's his only response to this, because he can't say that it's good, because that would offend his extremely far left fan base. But he knows that it's not a terrible thing to go to a horse race. Like, you can tell that he knows that this isn't a problem at all. And he's just annoyed that people are making it into a problem. And he doesn't have a way to deal with it without upsetting his fan base. So he just has to go with self-deprecating humor. It's almost kind of sad if you think about it. So this is Hasan's new tactic. He doesn't want to upset his audience. He doesn't want to appear like he's super bothered by something. So he just goes into this self-deprecating loop. Hasan doesn't think horse racing is that bad, but he can't call it out. And this is a problem that the left-wing streamers always have. And it's because if you're on the left, you're beholden to this kind of cancel culture thing. They're always pushing further and further to the left. And if you're not to the left enough, then you're not good enough and you're ostracized from the group. It's a weird cultural thing that they have. Whereas on the right, nobody really cares. You can be a Trump Republican. You could be a George Bush Republican. There might be a little bit of infighting and yapping at each other, but they're not going to kick you out of the group. With Hasan, he made his audience so far left that anytime they disagree with him, they criticize him harshly and they try to use absurd examples, right? Because he went to a horse race. And it's a problem with left-wing audiences, and it's something that none of these streamers have ever been able to deal with correctly, especially Hasan. They build these audiences for themselves that are so crazy they can't handle them, especially when they get as parasocial as somebody who's willing to write literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different paragraphs about Hasan going to a horse race because they think that horse racing is horrible. And that's not it, right? If you actually scroll down, Nicholas Diorio luckily took a bunch of screenshots of this thread, and you can see a lot of people were agreeing with this person. This person here says he has a huge blind spot when it comes to animal rights. As he always says, it sucks to be right too early. It's funny because now his left-wing audience is coming up and agreeing with the dog shocking allegations, basically. So now Hasan is getting attacked on the left and on the right for his treatment of animals, and it's all converging, it's all coming back to that time he shocked his dog. Quote, he has a huge blind spot when it comes to animal rights. It turns out no matter where he goes, if he's looking to his right or he's looking to his left, he can't avoid being called out for his treatment of animals. He's ruined his reputation because he doesn't understand that people are crazy about animals. I think that the only reason that his community is making such a big deal about him going to the horse races is because of the dog thing. So now there's two examples in their minds of him freaking out. If anybody's gonna get this kind of criticism, I'm glad it's Hasan. At the end of the day, you gotta remember this guy's pushing socialism. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. Do you think that horse racing is terrible and that Hasan needs to apologize? Do you think that Hasan's community is insane? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching all the way till the end. Remember to like and subscribe. Have a great day and God bless you.